That's Casey's dogs. You know, I have other rifle cartridge combinations to choose from, but in this video I'm going to tell you why when I go deer hunting I almost always carry the 35 Remington. This particular one, as a matter of fact. I hope you'll stick around. Hi, George here, and welcome to Tales from Target Suite, where I'll share my perspective on guns and shooting, and we'll have an adventure or two that will make even a grown man smile. And yes, I am smiling because I've got one of my favorite guns, the Marlin 336 from 1958-59 in a 35 Remington, and I do hunt with this guy. And so there's several reasons why. I'm not going to disrespect any other cartridges. Rifle cartridge combos, but I'm going to tell you why I picked this one, and it might interest you. We're going to shoot some reactive targets, and we're also going to shoot that ballistic gel down there at about 75 yards, which is about as far as I can shoot where I hunt. But right now, let's get up to the shooting bench. We have been back up there in months and months. And I'm going to shoot this guy right here, do a couple of 3-shot groups with some different ammo, and then we're going to do some very quick chronograph work just to show you guys where we are, and that's going to help in our downrange discussion. Okay, figuratively, I'm going to kill two birds with one stone here because I haven't shot any 35 Remington ammo for groups to check for accuracy now in a couple of years. And so I've got two different loads with Varget powder. One is near maximum and one is at maximum. We're going to put two 3-shot groups down there, see if one of them is much better than the other, and then we're going to step right over here and chronograph those rounds to get some downrange velocities. Let's shoot the other target now. These are the maximum charge of Varget. That's the lower of the two targets. Okay, let's go check those out. Okay, that's pretty fantastic. Here is a 1-inch group. That's one MOA at 100 yards with a 1958 or 59 vintage Marlin 336 and 35 Remington. Fantastic. And so this is the load we're going to use for our chronograph testing. And let's get back up and do that. Okay, I'm going to guess that's 265 or 2,065 feet per second, 2,060 or 65 roughly on average. Pretty good for a 200 grain bullet. Now let's talk about what that might mean downrange. Oh, what a difference a day makes, because today it's over 10 degrees colder than yesterday and a little bit breezy. But yesterday we did shoot a group that was sub-MOA, and I've experienced that before with this Marlin 336, 35 Remington, sub-MOA rounds, and I've got a couple of videos where I demonstrated that. And this group is at 100 yards using a lever gun and a 4-power scope. Just wanted to get that, make sure everybody understands how how fantastic this gun is. 35 Remington lever gun, fun to shoot, historic design. But I'm going to give you a close-up look at this right now, and while I do, we'll talk about the 2060 foot per second muzzle velocity. So we are talking about a 200 grain Sierra Pro Hunter bullet. It's a jacketed round nose bullet with a poor ballistic coefficient of 0.18, and with a 2060 foot per second muzzle velocity, it only leaves us with 1,737 feet per second at 75 yards and 1,649 at 100 yards. And those numbers translate into 1,341 foot-pounds of energy at 75 yards and 1,207 foot-pounds of energy at 100 yards. All of those numbers are a little bit less than the 30-30 150 grain bullet, but since both the 35 Remington and the 30-30 operate well below the 2,200 foot per second threshold for extensive tissue damage, both rounds depend on penetration and primary wound channel to be effective on animals. And that gets to the it factor, I like to call it, and that is the frontal area of the 35 Remington bullet. The caliber is actually .358, so we'll call it 36 caliber. And it has a 35% bigger frontal area than the .308 30-30 bullet. And that was going to translate into an even larger mushroom, a larger primary wound channel that's going to bleed faster, cause more damage, and as you'll see in a little bit, get fantastic penetration. But those are the reasons that I carry the 35 Remington into the field when I'm deer hunting. And I think at this point I would just like to demonstrate what the 35 Remington 200 grain jacketed round nose does in the ballistic gel. And as I hinted yesterday, I'm going to back up here at about 75 yards and see if we can't hit that in the dead center in that ballistic gel. And we'll record expansion of the gel and see what that looks like. And then I think we ought to bust some reactive targets. What do you say? Okay, 75 yards. Let's see if I can hit that ballistic gel. I think I hit it. Well, there you have it, the Marlin 336 35 Remington. And you've gotten to see the slow motion. I have not in a way that I can really evaluate, but one thing that did surprise me is that we got a full 32 inches of penetration in the ballistic gel. So that's pretty impressive. And I am looking forward to getting my hands on a 30-30 from Marlin, from the new Ruger-made Marlin, and doing a shoot-off, if you will, a one-to-one comparison, 30-30 to 35 Remington, two guns with a 20-inch barrel, and just to see what that looks like. But right now, let's close out with a little bit of fun. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Oh, sweet. And here goes the pumpkin.